So that was, I calculated it just now, that was, I think, 12 years ago.
Wow, okay.
That I started volunteering with One Community. So when I was 14, I spoke to a neighbour that I knew that worked here. She doesn't work here anymore, but I spoke to her and I said, I want to be able to get a job when I'm 16. I don't want to not have any experience on my CV for when I hit 16, because when you hit 16 you've only had work experience at school, and I found out a lot of schools don't do work experience no more. So I was like, I need something on my CV to say that I've worked in a space within the community helping people at 14. So she was like, yeah, come along. I think the first day I done was like a picnic in the park. It was on Koala Park.
Okay.
So that's how I came in contact with One Community, my neighbour. I think I did everything at some point.
Yeah.
I literally tapped into a lot. So I help people with their CVs.
Yeah.
Because I had that help from school, I already knew what needed to go into a CV. So I also used my own knowledge and research. I researched when I went home on how can I help other people in this space. We didn't have AI back then, so it was like we had to actually Google things and actually read and not have it read to us. So I took some time. I spoke to my neighbour quite a lot. I used to just come in here, just sit and listen to her speak, listen to her interact before I did stuff. I was teaching people how to use the computer, how to use Word, go to events. So I just learned a lot from the volunteering I did. I can't remember what the role is because it was quite a long role, but I know I was a volunteer administrator, something.
Okay.
But so I did a lot of admin.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot. I'm even surprised how much support I got from One Community. So they've helped me with my CV, they helped me with interview strategies, what I can do at home to prepare for interviews, to work on communication and all of that stuff. So everything that goes on a CV is what we worked on. Yeah. Everything that goes into an interview, applying for jobs, what to not say, what to put in your CV. So I know people have 3 pages of a CV and they don't have much experience, it doesn't really show much. So what I was taught was put all the important stuff in, all the the communication and all of that. That could be in a little profile to just talk about yourself. So we got my CV down to 1 page, and I don't know how we did, but after that was getting jobs after jobs after jobs. I got my first job at 16 when it's legal to work and get paid. So my first job was at the range.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the range.
Let's not talk about home stuff right now. But my first job, and I feel like One Community prepped me for that. And I received a lot of support, whether I was in uni, because I could still come back and contact. It was not like you've left and it's cut off. It's like you can come back, continue. You can even invite other people to come and join. So it's really free flow. And I was very comfortable from the first day to the last day I had here. And I was here, I was a part of One Community for about 6 years.
Wow.
So once I left uni in 2020, I came back for a short period of time, and then I got the job in a secondary school. So I left uni 2020, and I was, for a good 3 months, I felt very isolated, didn't speak to nobody, had no money, and I came back to One Community and I said, what can I do? I need to be in something, whether it's volunteering, whether it's a paid job, I need to be in something. I can't be at home for 3 months doing nothing. So was helped with my CV again, interview prompts also, and actually I went back to Gateway after so many years and I said, I can't lie, I need something. Could you give me a volunteering role? I think one of the old, I want to say she was a maths teacher. She's now the head teacher, Miss McLaughlin. And as soon as I walked in, shout out to Miss McLaughlin. As soon as I walked in, she was like, Elizabeth. I was like, hi. I was like, hi, Miss. She's like, what are you doing here? I said, I really need a volunteering opportunity. She was like, okay, you can start next week. And I was like, great, I can start next week.
Just like that.
I literally went shopping that same day with my mum. I said, Mum, I'm volunteering at Gateway. She goes, what do you mean you're volunteering at Gateway? I said, I'm going back to my school to volunteer. And we went to go buy work shoes, we went to go buy a whole load of work clothes, not knowing that I was actually in a week start at Lansdowne. So Frank, the old careers advisor, was like, there's a job going at Lansdowne. You'll be amazing for it. It's a learning support assistant. I was like, go on. She said, but the deadline's today. I said, what do you mean the deadline's today? He was like, yeah, you have to get back to me today. I said, great. So I went home, done my application. The next day they emailed me that I had to do a maths and English test. I was like, maths and English? It's a way all too much, it's all too real. And then had an interview over Zoom at Gateway. They were like, go and do what you need to do. We're not holding you. You're a volunteer here right now. And this was, so I spoke to Frank on the Tuesday. I handed it in the Tuesday. Maths and English test by Wednesday. Thursday, done the interview. Friday, got a call back to say that I'd got the job. I started on the Monday. And I was just like, this is all too much. This is all like, but one thing I would say, because I'm a Christian, I kept the faith. And I spoke to God a lot. And I was like, if this is what you want me to do, I said, I told you I don't want to work in schools, but this is where you've brought me, so let's see. So one important thing I do say is to anyone that's looking for a job, I know it might be 10 years, it might be 2 months, it might be 2 weeks, but I think keeping faith is one thing that's important, and tap into your community. And I feel like one community is the place where I've been able to tap into, and things have just flourished.